spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of me. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but
Peace, peace, peace. Peace, love, and light, nobles, empress. Welcome back again to one of our Adept study classes with SHEIKH KHARY GOODMAN Bey with the topic Moorish Science 101. Just go over a few of our sponsors real quick. Starting with MoorishHaberdasher.com, where you can get all your Moorish regalia from head to toe, suits, boots, regalia, and so much more. Check us out. Moorish Haberdasher, all your needs indeed. Again, we are the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We welcome you all to come join us every Saturday and Sunday for workouts, for classes, for Sunday school. Also sponsored by Mayat Sons, Divinely Prepared Tea of Teas. Also, one of our other book sponsors is mypdfbooks.com, where reading funds the mental. We welcome you to come check out that site and see all the plethora of books we have to offer that we go over daily. And if you want a physical copy of any book, we also have bindedbooks.com, the sister company. And all these sites are fueled and backed by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy. You need any web development, AI, logos. We're definitely a one-stop shop for all these to get your business aligned. With no further ado, SHEIKH KHARY GOODMAN Bey. Peace and love, nobles.
Peace and love, bro. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing great, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
And hope everybody having a good day, man. So you had a good morning workout this morning. Also went over the league.
Absolutely.
Beat the sun.
With the sun shining in the background, the sunrise, the ground rising.
But that's dope, man. That's good. That's good. But it's always glad, man, to be able to come on here with y'all brothers and to be able to have conversations about, more science and, the dynamics and the beauty of it. And also some of the things that people may, how can I say, take for granted or may have heard or use things on people to try to get them to do specific things to get them in trouble. So we always here for open dialogue, and we're never here to tell nobody what to do. But what we're here to do is give you something to compare to. Here at the BBT, we're not a church. When I say church, we are the church, the people, but we are a school. We study all the law and the prophets. We give understanding to all inspirations and divine creations and divine creators of thought, etc. So I always be wanting to be clear with that, and when you jump on social media, you must have a certain type of skin, because you're going to get all type of people, jumping on your page, saying this and saying that, no matter if it's from the heart or just whatever it may be. But as we're sharing information and, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to have this type of instrument, which we call social media, because this is how I met all y'all. It's a good tool. And look how we come together. Look at the beautiful work we have done in this small bit of time. You know, brothers and sisters coming under a sound voice. So when we come to the public, which is social media, what we're here doing is opening up our doors to share information with brothers and sisters, as we're supposed to do here at the BBT, but we're here to illuminate things. So I don't want to stick alone in our introduction and how the BBT believes, because we go over that each week. We go over our aims. And if you want the information, I've gathered and compiled it in one of our books. It's called The Divine Pattern of the Mosaic Tabernacle. And it has the Moorish Salat and how the BBT believe in it. And you can have that, you know. All you got to do is hit me up, inbox me. It's no problem. I'll send it to you PDF. I want you to have it. My gift to you. But today, we're going to talk about a few things, man. And I'm glad. What I am glad to say is I'm proud when a lot of men that have been in the science maybe a little bit longer than me, or how can I say it, physically longer than me, but not mentally and spiritually longer than me, will start coming to say the things that they're done, and a lot of the people that they've been dealing with has drawn people, families to destruction. And so we're here. I want us to talk about a few things, because everything in life is a type. Everything in life is a type. You know, you want to type this, you want to type that. So we're talking about comparative and us talk about something.
That's long.
And I want everybody's ears to be clear. Some of the things you may have heard, some of the things you may not heard. I may have not went all the way to the information, but I want you to have it so you can have a light bulb moment, so you can have an aha moment. Because we got to remember, the science is always right. Now, it may be the people that's dealing with the science may not be right. But listen what I'm saying. The science is always right. The numbers, the mathematical equation, if you're a mathematician, it's always going to be right. But we're talking about, follow me? So,
Yes, sir.
So when we talk about information should be shared. So when other people do some things or may have heard some things, you won't go and repeat that same thing on false pretense, being like, oh, well, I didn't know, or no one said nothing, and someone was right there to be able to stop you from bumping your head or losing everything. But no one will say nothing. We can't continue to do that. Not in this type of work that we're doing. If we're supposed to be doing a divine work, we're supposed to be saying, man, hey, yep, this is absolutely right. This is, we don't operate like this. This is not what we do. This is not how this is done. Because the divine warning tell you this. I mean, I don't be understanding what brothers be doing, man. Like, we do have a divine creed. We do have bylaws. We do have a divine warning. I mean, especially when brothers be out here, you know, acting, I can't even explain how, but any old type of way. I mean, especially when people say like this, this is the thing about accusations, which is messed up in our society. when a person is accused and paint a picture and say this is what a person to say, all the temples are infiltrated. And I say, have you been to all the temples? I'm not saying the temples are bad. I'm not saying the temples are great. It depends on the individual. The building is nothing. It depends on the individuals. And the individuals don't need a building. They build it can be anywhere. It can be cottage meat. It can be homes. It don't have to be a physical building. It can be your homes. It's the people that have to be right, that make the movement right, that make the nation right, not a building. You know, but it's things when we talk about traditions and Moorish science that we should adhere to, especially as brothers and sisters that say we follow the science of Moorish science. Not to be argumentative or be no goofy sovereign citizen, which is an oxymoron. Not to be out here driving without no license, not to be out here squatting in no houses, not to be no bums. That is not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about being upright, you know, understanding the divine first. You got to be civil to even understand civics. And a lot of brothers need a re-education of what's going on. But in Moorish science, which the prophet brought, he brought the temple. He brought the Moorish science temple of America. That's what the prophet did, no matter if no one liked it or not in this context. But Noble Drew Ali gave a divine warning. He warned all Muslim governors to order to read and proclaim at each meeting. No stand-up right Moorish American from my time, anytime, and ancient time promulgate this madness that you see Moors doing on the TV and on these YouTube things, talking about this day nation, and they doing all this sovereign citizen crazy stuff, drive without no license, calling themselves some Moorish, what they be, national. All this stuff, I said, man, this is nothing. All this stuff is new, and they put it in the same category as militia. They put it in the same category as militia. When I tell people it's no difference, the misnomer Moorish American with a fez on be sitting in jail right next to, no disrespect, the European, the Albion, the Trelodite militia. You will be brought up on the same charges. I guarantee you. No disrespect to anyone on here. So when people be saying this is what Noble Drew Ali taught, this and that and the other, and do criminal behaviors, if you say it's Moorish science for the Moorish Science Temple, well, anything about the Moorish Science Temple of America can be researched, can be looked up, can be purchased. These is facts, especially law cases. If you know how to look law cases up, Precedent Law Cases doc number, the Free Information Act, the Library of Congress, which I'm going to show you Precedent Law Cases in a minute, when a person can say something or promulgate one thing and try to give a little truth and falsehood, where then the laws that govern this world is too easy to look up any case if you know how. When people be saying, oh, we don't pay taxes and doing all this, well, why are you having people apply to get fake taxes? I'm gonna show you this. And so I'm not even gonna say any names, but y'all can paint the picture. This is what I tell people. They have to step up. Those that don't know and those that do understand what I'm saying, then it is what it is. And then I always say peace to people that's lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? But when you have on a so-called garment, especially the fez, and you teaching something that can cause people to go to prison, and you teach it on assumption, and you're not teaching matter-factual, I wouldn't roll with that, because there's no assumption and I think in law, and dealing with matter facts and being able to prove something, especially if it's precedent, especially if you can prove it in the law. But a whole bunch of barbershop talk and a whole bunch of treaties bringing, man, you're gonna get your butt handed to you, because the realization of what a lot of people be talking about is out of context. But this is what the prophet is talking about in this type of organization and understanding. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they must turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is the everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's what it says. It's not telling nobody to overthrow or do nothing. And then the bylaws clearly tells you the same thing. When you would like, when it tells you you're not here to overthrow no government or nothing like that. You know? So I want to talk about something. Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry. I got about like 3 things going on, y'all. I apologize. Yeah, I got you, bro. But it's just
to add,
go ahead.
You know, I mean, like you said, this is called Moorish Science 101. And I mean, a lot of brothers, they get into this when they're, you know, down, or they might be in a low place. And then they find out, like you said, they get the teachings in a criminal type of way, I would just say. You know, they're trying to, like you said, in houses and paperwork. And if they would just study, I mean, Noble Drew Ali wasn't about any of those things that a lot of these people who are calling themselves Moors are doing. I mean, like you said, it's about building yourself up as a man first and foremost, getting your health right, getting your mind right, getting your finances right, loving your family, you know, educating your family and friends who care about history and civics. I mean, that's the part of the 101s that I can say I've learned and embraced more. Of course, we all ran into people who have been mixing a little bit of the true information with a lot of the sovereign citizen information, and that's where a lot of brothers go wrong, because they get into all that paperwork and driving without licenses and things of that nature, and that wasn't what this was for. I mean, we're a sovereign body group of people. You know, Noble Drew Ali created his nonprofit organization, Religious Scientific, for our protections. And when you read the state booklet and you study it, it'll definitely show the blueprint and the formula that what he was about and what this movement wasn't about.
And see, and I'm glad you said that, Moso, because that's something that we're going to talk about today, because a lot of things has came up in these last couple of days that I want to make clear. Okay, I want people to understand what I'm saying as well, because a lot of things, they don't be spoken of. When people try to use certain things and don't tell people the truth, so the next person don't go in the burning house, because we already talked about the letter to the CCRD, right? We spoke of that. Y'all already know about that, right? The letter to the county clerk recorder of deeds, telling them that the 1010-5905 is not no trust fund. It's just a religious affidavit, right?
Right.
And anybody can, if anybody want that, You can go to the county clerk, recorder of deeds, and get a certified copy with the seal on it or uncertified copy. Any way you want to pay for it. Just like if you're going to get your college documents from a university. Anybody that graduated from college on here, you know what I'm talking about. You can get an unofficial records or official records. It just costs a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying? It had a seal on it. And it's the same way what I'm talking about that you can get from the CCRD, you know, and this was in 2016 when it's telling these so-called sheiks and sheikesses that I don't know what you're talking about and you lawfully incorrect, you know, that the CCRD is not no trust fund at the end of the rainbow, you know.
Indeed.
And it breaks it and it tells and it breaks everything down specifically. And I don't want to read it over and over and over because I done read it a plethora of times. That should stop people in their tracks right off the jump, Noble Moso. But it doesn't with a lot of people that want to get in trouble. You know, it doesn't. What happens is a plethora of people will get drugged down in some things. I'm about to show you what I'm saying because 9 times out of 10, Noble Moso, when a person is coming in a thing or in any type of criminality or how can I say it, criminal behavior, the first thing they're going to do is look for people that they think don't know anything. That's right. The first thing. So when we're talking about all this stuff, this 1010, 5905 and all this stuff, and all this AA22 numbers and all this stuff. And we're gonna have a clear discussion because I'm gonna show you what it all means when it comes down to getting your butt in trouble with the law and criminality. It don't mean poo damn diddly. And if anybody get on here saying it do, it's their lie and ain't no truth in them. Do you understand what I'm saying, Moso? That this is what I'm sitting here telling you right now to put it out on the line because it's free information. And we should be sharing this information to stop things in their tracks. You know, this information, what I'm talking about, the first document comes from Karen A. Yarborough, Recorder of Deeds, Register of Torrens, titles of Cook County, Illinois. It goes to and this was in July 8, 2016, you know, and it was to a sheik and a sheikess, Mota and Lonel Love L. That's what it say. And what they're asking in it is they asking the CCRD that this the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what it say. Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what it say. I know how to read. Everybody else that's unbiased, even college students that had a conversation about this, they don't know nothing about the temple, and this is an easy read. When I tell brothers and sisters, I hope you're studying what not to do. That's what a prophet and an angel is. It just don't come and give you sweet stuff. It come give you a warning of what's going to happen. What? That's like the prophet said. If you don't want to abide by these laws, justice must then take its course. What? This right here, operating under false pretense. Destroy your life. And so let me give you a highlight of what this is talking about. It says, in her capacity as the Register of Torrens title, what is the full scope of the fiduciary duty owed to document 1010-5905, listen clearly, and the resulting entity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, as a body politic, named in said document. This is how you fact check all these pretendos out here playing G.I. Joe. No disrespect to no one. But when they come playing that game or that in living color talk, you know, when my man was in jail using all those big words, saying nothing. Talking about all those little semantics, you know, telling you this, all this stuff, and your social security number is attached to this, and you got this land, and none of them have nothing. And there's no disrespect to no one. But it said, this is the response to their questions. It said, after reading your questions, I assume that you are asking what the recorder's duties and responsibilities are in relation to this and other documents in this regard. the recorder has two specific duties and responsibilities. This is what it says. This is what it said. It says, first, the recorder is responsible for recording. It said, first, the recorder is responsible for recording documents that are entitled to be recorded. Second, the recorder has the responsibility of being the custodian of all recorded documents. And people be wanting to argue with facts. I say, it's nothing to argue with. It's nothing that we should be arguing. What we should be doing is sitting here as intellectuals, as Moors, as brothers and sisters, helping people not go into a burning house. You know, that's what we should be doing, not arguing or debating, because there's nothing to debate. You know, it's nothing to debate. It's nothing to debate. How can we debate what can be proven? You know, there's no way. Let's proceed, y'all. But I want to set a precedent because I'm going to go through some documents, you know. Document 1010-5905 is an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporations Act. I hope people just heard what I just said. I done cleared it all up right then. Then it would take me 10 minutes. And then I'm getting ready to clear up another so-called magic number. When I tell people, don't get caught up in this game and get a paper trail on you. Don't get caught up in this game and get audited and all this stuff. And these people have nothing but telling you to lose everything. We don't gamble with our lives and with our livelihood. We build on. And if anybody don't understand that, that's fine with me. But you got to understand what I'm saying. But that document is a organization under the Religious Corporation Act. 805 ILCS 110 ET SEQ. You can look that up for yourself. That's a doc number under the Religious Corporation Act. And there are specific requirements that need to be met in order for a document to be recorded pursuant to that act. All you have to do is look up 805 ILCS 110-36. And at the time that this document was presented to the CCRD, which is the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds, it met all of the requirements and it was recorded. So I hope we have a clear understanding what I'm saying. This is no hate or no slander. This is to make sure that we don't get these two things mixed up, because more science is for the family. What Noble Drew Ali have done and brought to life is valid. What's not valid is people adding things into it, getting people's lives took away, getting their livelihood, you know, and it can easily be denounced. How? It's very simple. How? Because the information right here. That's what I'm saying. And the information can be biased. How? It's like a lion in the wild. It'll defend itself. It'll fight till the death. I'm not here to alley up with nobody. You know, no disrespect. I'm here to be with like-minded people so we can really build on something and move on. Okay, I got it. I got you, brother. But as a custodian for this document and other recorded documents, unless restricted by law, the documents are made available for purchase by the public. So this document, I'm telling you, you can get it. It's available by the public. If anybody in the county of Clerk, Cook County, go down to the registers of Torrance and ask for this letter. You can get it for a small fee. I guarantee you. It's very simple. If not, you can get it from me. Anything about more science, anything that anybody be acting like it's some magical secret, man, it's no secret. You know, this is what I'm telling my brothers and sisters. It's just a lot of brothers and sisters may not be introduced to certain things. And it's no disrespect to my brothers and sisters. You know, that's why we do this. You know, but it's a custodian. That's all it was. And it's made available for the public. When you look up precedent in law case or doc number 55 ILCS 5-4-12002, and then fact check me. And in other words, if a customer requests to purchase a certified or non-certified copy of this document from the CCRD will provide such a copy to the customer if they pay the fee. And see, nothing that we're talking about is going to be unavailable for the average man to have, because we want you to have it. We want to go to city, to state, and we operate on the same understanding. So we're not out here begging. We don't want any welfare. We pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We don't want no welfare. Like I tell people, I'm down with reparations, but I know law. I know the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment. I know what manumissions is. I know that Negro, Blacks, and color or African Americans is never going to get no reparations. Not using those names that that's synonymous to slave. And if they don't understand that, then that's the global problem for the misnomer black man, no matter what religion you're under. And that's no disrespect to nobody. But I'm telling you that the CCRD has no duties and responsibilities relating to these particular documents. So it's telling these group of people, we hear what you're saying, but nothing what you're saying is valid. In other words, the CCRD is simply a custodian of this record and makes this available to the public for a fee. It's saying it's a custodian. So I hope we know what a custodian is. A custodian is something that just holds something or keeps something clean per se. Listen to what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. I hope this is very simple. This is not arithmetic. This is nothing hard. What are the procedures? Gratitude. For filing document under the 805 ILCS, the Religious Corporation Act, related to property, mortgages, notes, etc. You can research this for yourself. Here go their response. Real estate related documents such as property deeds, mortgages, or notes are not recorded under the Religious Corporation Act. For the recorded requirements for the real estate related documents, please see the State Recording Statute, Act 55 ILCS 5 ET.SEQ. So I hope y'all see what I'm telling y'all. And if you can pick up what I'm telling you, you can find things and put the puzzles together and be like, man, bam, bam, bam. You can clean yourself up. And the ones around you, if they don't want to be clean, then you just let them be. It's no disrespect and no slander to no one. What are the procedures for including the Moorish Science Temple of America to list of body politics on file with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds? Here go their response. The CCRD does not maintain a list of body politics. With this said, as mentioned above, the CCRD accepts documents relating to the organization, incorporation of religious entities under the Religious Corporations Act. And the document that you are concerned with, document 1010-5905, has already been recorded by the CCRD. So if it's already been recorded in the CCRD, my brothers and sisters, all you have to do is go into the CCRD and see what they're holding and read it for yourself to get a clear understanding. Here go the next question. Because one of my nobles said, man, Noble, would you please read it? Yes, I will. I got you. Isn't it true that in accordance to provisions made possible for the body politics under home rule, that documentation and laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America and body politic are applicable to the management of said trust? Listen clearly. Here go their response. The CCRD is unaware of what specific documentation and laws are applicable to the management of any trust maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I would like to note that the Religious Corporation Act states that trustees of religious organizations shall have the care, the custody, and the control of the real and the property of that organization. Why? Because I gave you the law case, the precedent doc number, 805 ILCS 110-43. Remember? And the CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets being held by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So no more can get on here and be saying that anymore. Now, if anybody getting on here and saying that and they sincere, well, you can tell them that they sincerely wrong. No disrespect. I tell people you can't break the law and then try to say you use the law to defend people because you're going to get destroyed. I'm gonna show you all through. I'm gonna walk you through this. I'm not even going to get deep. It's not even. I don't even have to go far to show you what not to do, because it's too simple. It's too simple. It's just like you dealing with an informant, and everybody around will know he an informant, but nobody says nothing. Be like, yep, and they be like, yep. Such and such stupid. Why? He dealing with my man, but you ain't gonna tell them that my man is the feds, and they got caught up. You ain't gonna say no. We just gonna let him just walk up and set everybody up. Per se, if you in the game, this is what I'm saying. The psychosis of it. Let's proceed. It says it's making this. It says it's just making this stuff available for the public for a fee. Right? It says real estate related documents such as property deeds, mortgages, or notes are not recorded under the Religious Corporation Act. It says for this recorded requirements for the real estate related document, please see the state recorded statute. Remember that statute? 55 ILCS 5 ET SEQ. Man, listen to what this saying. What are the procedures for including the Moorish Science Temple of America to the list of body politics on file with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds? Listen clearly. Here go their response. The CCRD does not maintain a list of body politics. With this said, as mentioned above, the CCRD accepts documents relating to the organization and corporation of the religious entity under the Religious Corporation Act. The document that you are concerned with, document 1010-5905, has already been recorded by the CCRD. I wanted you to hear that again. See, this is the simple things that we should be asking people, like, okay, before you start jumping out there and not fully equipped, especially of knowing what not to do, operating on pretense and feeling. You should never operate on no pretense and on no how you feel. You should never operate emotionally. You should be calm. It shouldn't make you want to tear nothing up, But it says the CCRD is unaware of what specific documentation and laws applicable to the management of any trust maintained by, for, or the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple. It said the CCRD is not a trust of any trust or trust assets being held by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It says, has the office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers? Listen to this. Look at the brashness of these questions. Of the Adept Chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's what they'd be laughing at me when people say they went through the Adept Chamber. And I say, well, what you go through the Adept Chamber? What Adept Chamber you go through? Oh man, I had a conversation with SHEIKH from such and such, such and such. You had a conversation for 3 hours and you went through the Adept Chamber. No disrespect to nobody, man. Man, we gonna have fun. We still early with it. But I'm just reading you one letter. It says, let me get to the good part. It says, it is my understanding that the current sheikhs of the Moorish Science Temple of America are reflected in the recorded documents that are amended 1010-5905. If there were any changes to the trustees of the organization that are not reflected in these documents, the CCRD would not be aware of them. What the CCRD is saying is, if anybody changed or this and that and the other, and you ain't changing on your records and make it known, how the hell they gonna know, Moso?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This stuff is elementary, man. This stuff is elementary. Listen what it says again for my brothers and sisters that got ears to hear and eyes to see. Is this office aware that only the founder, Noble Drew Ali, has the authorization to issue document 1010-5905. As such has been the case since 8/1/1929. Once again, although I am unclear what you mean by issuing the document, but part of the recorder's duties include maintaining recorded documentation and providing certified and non-certified copies of recorded documents for sale to the public. I gave you the precedented law case, doc number 55 ILCS 5-4-12002. But listen clearly. Next thing, question. Is this office aware that the unauthorized issuance and collections of funds resulting from the said issuance constitutes a breach of registered fiduciary duty as custodian, criminal fraud, embezzlement? Here go the response. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Please see the relevant statutory authority reference above. Listen clearly, brothers and sisters. No disrespect. We got to do what's right and not what's wrong, and can't keep promulgating some bull crap because you feel so strong about some bull crap. That's the crazy thing about a lot of people. That's insane. You feel so passionate about some stuff that ain't right. Listen, man, it's not right. No matter how passionate you are, it's not right. What we doing? It don't fit. It's not gonna work. We standing up right. We ain't trying to show nobody how to break no laws or get caught up. And in some of your other correspondence, you indicate that the CCRD has refused to file certain real estate and non-real estate related documents and index them under trust 1010-5905. Listen clearly. To be clear, document 1010-5905 is not a trust document. Let me say it again. Document 1010-5905 is not a trust document. This document is simply an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act. What this means is that the document serves as a recorded that the Moorish Science Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporation Act. And the CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That responsibility lies with the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it's clearly telling the brothers and sisters, if you have any problem recording certain documents in this office, please refer to the recording requirements referenced in the legal authority cited above. What you mean? The process, how you update or change any legal document or your articles of organization per se. Everybody know what I'm saying. If you do things the right way, this is no slander to no one, but nobody's not finna just come and just throw things out here and get people mind all caught up like they got some magic wand. And finally, you indicate that you would like the Moorish Science Temple of America to place employees in the CCRD for various purposes. Listen to the answer. State law clearly indicates that you have no authority to demand that you employ members of your congregation in our office. The recorder has the right to control the internal operations of her office. I told you, when everybody talk all this stuff, you ain't trumping the state law. This is what I be telling people. Look at the law, look at the precedented law cases. And then when you try to run to the courts to try to use the law that you say that you don't abide by, you're gonna see how it's not even gonna make sense what you're talking about. And it's no disrespect to no one. It's no disrespect to no one. What I tell people is I know how they get caught up. I know how to get caught up using documents like right here. This document right here, this is the Zodiac Constitution. This is the AA, and here go another number, the AA222141, Library of Congress. And brothers think this some get out of jail free card. And they can sit up here and play a game with me. And I said, don't y'all know that ain't nothing but just a doc number? Just like I just read a doc number with the 1010 number, it's connected to something. And people don't be investigating things all the way. You let a person throw some magical or sprinkle some stuff on you because they may be old, but they could have been a young fool and now an old fool, mixing truth and falsehood, because none of this stuff is going to get you out of no situation when you break the law. Yeah, I know about the science of these things. That's why I said it's some good stuff in this stuff. But when we're talking about dealing with real law, all facets of law, we cannot be on here playing, acting like these other people been doing this stuff a long time ago, saying, oh, they got some magic wand and they got some letter that can get you out of jail, and some Sunji Moore Act gonna get you out of jail, or your social security number is taxed to millions and they don't have it. We're not playing that game anymore, man. We should be way past that. We should be able to sit here and deal with each other to not get people caught up, but still be who we are and still be a nation in a nation, which the world has no problem, because the laws say what we're doing is valid when it's done the right way. But I understand about the 12 signs of the zodiac, the code of mathematics scaling from 0 to 9, and the science of geometry. I understand the G comprise the constitution of living of the Moorish nations. We get all that, you know. We understand all that, but I want us to be right. I don't want nobody to get in trouble. This is not, I don't play crash dummy with Moors. And then you get in trouble and then there's no one to defend you in your best interest. You're standing there all alone, because that's all that's going to happen. And you in there under false pretense. And then you're going to plead to a lesser charge. And then you're going to get a court-appointed attorney. I know this for a fact. It's no disrespect to no one. It's just what it is. So we have to have a clear understanding. I understand Article 2, the Zodiac Constitution, birthrights. We get that. But I want people to have a clear understanding when you're reading things, and not just reading it and not understanding. Because when you read things, sometimes it should tell you what not to do. So when people read things, you get misconstrued. And I love anybody, if you're free or if you've been locked up. But it's only one law. It's only one science. When I talk about the marriage license and things, when they say Noble Drew Ali told people to, and it's other documents that I can show y'all, booklets that Moores wrote, and in there it's saying that Noble Drew Ali told us to go to the city hall. No, it's not. That's what people said. The prophet said, if you don't want to abide by these laws and these rules, then go to the city hall and buy your wives. Because anybody that's in the tribe that under the religious laws, you do not have to go to no city hall. These is facts. How do I know? The Amish, the Mormon, they don't do that. No disrespect. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. You know, your religious laws trump everything. So when I talk about the DAR, which is the daughter of the American Revolution, and you see the DAR, they wear the white fez with the gold tassel, which our empresses call themselves some Eastern Star, and not understanding the same psychosis that the empress is under, the men are under as well, in misnomer 32 and 33 degree masonry. No disrespect to none of my brothers and sisters, because I love everybody, but it's just what it is. So I don't want to stay all into that, but what I'm talking about is letting you know that these numbers and these certain things people be throwing out don't be nothing but numbers. You can look up certain documents in the Library of Congress. I'm showing you right here. And that's all that is. The seal on there with the AA22141. That's just like the doc number that you can look up this document. Listen, man, this ain't, ask anybody, anybody with a tittle of wisdom, know I'm telling the truth. Listen, additional certification of registration of a claim to copyright. This just certification of this document. Man, if rap albums been registered in the Library of Congress. I think Nas' album is registered in the Library of Congress. Listen, this is to certify that the statements set forth in this attached have been made a part of the records of the Copyright Office with claim of copyright registered under number AA222141. In testimony whereof the seal of this office is affixed hereunto on January 10th, 2004. You see? So when people that be coming with that gibberish and with that no disrespect, with that half truth, all it's going to do is show your incompetence of the law. because a lot of the stuff is talking inner things. It has nothing to do with you committing no crimes. If anybody say it don't, they lying. I mean, I can show y'all cases, man, case by case by case, when people get it misconstrued. You know, man, I'll give y'all a law case because this is too easy. I tell y'all, when I was in school, when I was getting my dual master's degree out here in Arizona, but when I used to live in Tucson, I used to see so many militia European is getting locked up with that not driving with their license things and all that, saying they overthrow the affairs over. And I say they doing the same thing that I've seen, no disrespect, the European, the Albion, the ex-military person do the same thing that these Moors doing. So let me break some down as I go to the next topic, because we're going to walk around. I want to show you some things, and it's just what it is. And you can ask any question. I got a little bit more time, but it's a case. Metaphysic L, this person that went by this name, you know, in Virginia, an inmate, you know, he petitioned the court, challenged his convictions in 2013 in the circuit court of the city of Norfolk. On December 2014, the magistrate judge issued a report and recommendation recommending that the court grant respondent's motion to dismiss. Supreme L has filed 8 objections with various subparts spanning 34 pages. Supreme L also filed a motion for leave to amend specific objections. For these reasons that follow, the motion for the leave to amend specific objections will be granted. Supreme L's objection will be overruled and the action will be dismissed. Listen, the magistrate judge made the following findings and recommendations. Listen clearly when people just be making stuff up. While Supreme L lists 17 claims for relief, the majority of his claims contest the Commonwealth of Virginia's and the circuit court's jurisdiction to prosecute and convict him because of his status as a Moorish American. Supreme L claims are as follows, and I quote, claim 1, AA 222141. Did y'all just hear what I just said?
Oh,
I mean, come on, stop right there. Didn't I just read it? Man, if you in my chambers and you come with something like that, I'm gonna be like, man, is this person retarded, Moso?
indeed, they are.
Huh?
Yep.
Come on, Moso. We're not playing no games here. We making sure we walk out of here clear. Because the last part going to be super clear. No, his claim, this what this brother that done did this stuff, his claim 1 is the AA 222141. I just showed y'all what that is. He talked about the Zodiac Constitution by C.M. Bay, and that number is just the register in the Library of Congress. Is this man retarded? Who put him up to that? You understand what I'm saying, Moso?
Yeah, yeah.
When I talk about when we should be able to have intellectual conversations on what not to do. And be able to stand strong and feel good. He talked about the Moorish American credentials registered with the Department of Justice and Library of Congress. Claim 2, listen to this. Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution and birthrights of the Moorish Americans. I hope he be clear, because I'm gonna break it all down to show you how you get hung. Okay, so I said the Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. Okay, Zodiac Constitution and the birthrights of the Moorish Americans. Claim 3, Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations, April 18th, 1961, Articles 29, 30, 31. Claim 4, Convention on Privileges and Immunities of the United States, Article 4, Section 11. Claim 5, Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 AD and 1836 AD between Morocco and the United States. Okay. Keep that in your head, right? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
The Peace and Friendship Treaty between Morocco and the United States, because I'm about to read it. If we're going to do the work, we got to do the work. So watch this. The United States Constitution, Article Section 3 and 2, and Article 6, Amendment 5, Liberty Clause, Amendment 9, Reservation of the Rights of People. Claim 7, Title 18 U.S.C. Part 1, Chapter 7, Section 112, Protection of Foreign Officials, Official Guests, and Internationally Protected Persons. Claim 8, Rights of Indigenous People. I don't know why would he say that. Claim 9, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Claim 10, Higgins versus Levine. Look that up. A lower court cannot decide a conflict between state and federal laws in a proceeding. Claim 11, Dred Scott versus Stanford held that Negro slaves or free were not included and were not intended to be included in category of citizen. So they saying since they ain't included to be a citizen, if you kill or murder someone or get caught with some dope, you just walk out the chambers. Claim 12, United States Supreme Court Acts of State. Claim 13, Diplomatic Relations Act. Claim 14, Sundry Free Moors Act, 1790. Claim 15, persons residing outside the United States. Claim 16, Simmons versus Commonwealth. Claim 17, deprived of right to a fair trial. 5th, 6th, 9th Amendment violation. So I'm showing y'all this case, procedural history. After a bench trial, the circuit court convicted Supreme L of possession of a Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 controlled substance. So here it is. The brother got caught with a controlled substance, not doing nothing righteous. You see what I'm saying, Moso?
Right.
Not doing nothing righteous or doing the upstanding right. You get caught with a controlled substance. So these people get caught with drugs and then trying to come with this more science stuff. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Possession of a firearm while committing possession of a Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 controlled substance, resisting arrest, intimidation, and carrying a concealed weapon. Supreme L was sentenced to 20 years and 24 months of incarceration. Commonwealth versus Supreme, NOS, and the doc number, and all that. Supreme L appeal arguing inter alia that the trial court erred in denying his motion to dismiss because the court lacked jurisdiction over the charge due to his nationality, his heritage, and his immigration status.
Wow.
Supreme versus Commonwealth. That whole court case, that's what he tried to say. The Court of Appeals of Virginia denied his appeal as frivolous. During the pendency of the direct appeal on August 13, 2013, Supreme L filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus in Supreme Court of Virginia, raising similar claims, challenging the jurisdiction of the court. The court petitioned for writs of habeas corpus. Supreme L versus Director of Department of Corrections. The doc number and all that is on here. But the Supreme Court of Virginia found that the claims attacking the petitioner's new convictions are frivolous, meaning nothing, and dismissed the petition. You see? And this is no disrespect. We got to be clear when people come playing these games, and it's easy to look this stuff up. I'm almost done with this one. In order to obtain federal habeas relief, at a minimum, a petitioner must demonstrate that he is in custody in violation of the Constitution or the laws or treaties of the United States. It's doc numbers for this information. The anti-terrorism and effective death penalty. All this stuff can be brought up. But I'm telling y'all that none of it, and then he claimed the 16th Supreme L argues that in violation of Simmons versus Commonwealth. Lost all that. the Moorish American claim. In his many claims, Supreme L contend that the Commonwealth of Virginia lacked jurisdiction to prosecute him, and the Circuit Court lacked jurisdiction to convict him because of his status as a Moorish American. Why? Why? So okay, if I murder someone, I don't have my day in court, or someone murder your loved one, they don't have their day in court if they try to claim that they're Moorish American, Noble Moso, huh?
Of course they would. He's making no sense with his claims.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to stay too far in that case, but I'll just set a precedent. But I'm going to jump right into the consular courts where people talk about and show you something. I'm going to go right to the next document, because we just want to have a real conversation. When people be saying the consular courts say this and that and the other, well, let's see what the consular courts say with the Treaty of America, with the Treaty of the United States and Morocco. Let's read it right here from the Cornell Law. Let's read it what it says with your own ears. It's right here. And nobody can be mad. It's only one law. It's only one science. Can you defend it? Can you prove who you are in all this law and stand strong? You should be able to. Because right now, we just having a conversation on what not to do. The treaty between the United States and Morocco gives to the council of the former exclusive jurisdiction in disputes among the citizens of the United States, and in criminal cases, it is provided by the 21st article of the same treaty, which reads as follows. Listen clearly. If a citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, or on the contrary, if a Moor shall kill or wound a citizen of the United States, the law of the country takes place, and equal justice shall be rendered, the counsel assisting at the trial. And if the delinquent shall make his or her escape, the counsel shall not be answerable for him or her in any manner whatsoever. Then it goes on with the treaty with Madagascar and all these different treaties and etc. So I want people to be careful when you're dealing with people and they say they got some secret law. They don't. If I have time, I'm gonna jump into just the intro of the state booklet, because no one can twist what Norbert Gerali said if I'm giving you information that you can research. What must happen is you have to start looking at those figures, even though some may have passed. If you might hear me say some names, some may have passed, but if I promulgate something that Moors don't pay taxes and all this stuff that Moors be promulgating, and then have people do that and get people in trouble, that means I've committed a crime. And it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to no one. All this sovereign citizen movement, all this canceling corporate debt, all this stuff that people think is more science, it's not. It's just something that people come up with and their new concepts. That's all. You know, but I know people that still doing these things because they're coming back up. And when I tell people, when there's no disrespect, peace be among anybody's flesh, or any brother that left this earth plane, I give you love, and your flowers to your family. Is no disrespect to no one. But when I be telling people, when I start hearing things and I start seeing what people are doing, I said, this is an old game. I said, I saw this in Chicago. I told y'all when a lot of Moors first came to me when I was in Arizona. And when I always look at things, I research things. The science is not a problem. It's the people that's in the science, especially if you get caught up in that we showing people how to claim their nationality and being, how can I say, in the spirit of a so-called Hebrew Israelite, always out, trying to prove something. No disrespect to no one's campaign. I'm just saying that type of energy and that type of testosterone, when you're trying to convince someone, especially people that don't know too much. Because if we say we Moors and we don't pay taxes and all this stuff that people be saying, mixing truth and falsehood, how could you be a leader in a certain city and then have people filing fake taxes? Peace be among your soul. How can it be? And now it's coming right back up again. And I tell people this happened before. It happened before in Chicago. This is an old play. And I said, all that's going to happen is all of y'all brothers that's doing this stuff is going to go to prison. Why? Because everybody that this brother did it to, peace be among his soul, that was in Chicago, you know, all his people went to jail. Well, not all of them. He went because he was dealing with a lot of old people. They call them degenerates. I'm telling y'all. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And they say he was the Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America in Chicago. This is the case. They say he stole more than $3 million from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, by filing and assisting others in filing fraudulent tax returns. And he pled guilty to mail fraud. You got the doc number on there, 18 USC 1341, and was sentenced to 68 months in prison. But then below, they got the background of the information of the so-called sheikh, you know, and whatever. But he pled to mail fraud. And at the close of the change of plea, the judge asked government to provide information about defendants who've been prosecuted for similar schemes. So he was trying to say that he wanted to be judged in the parameters of what other people similar to that crime have done, you know. But other was sentenced, they got ranged from 28 months and probation. Meanwhile, the probation officer calculated the guidelines. Imprisonment range for him 70 to 87 months. For Walton had a criminal history category. Had a criminal history category of 1, and the offense level was set at 27 based on the agreed upon intent loss of amount of $16 million. At the sentence hearing, neither party contests the guidelines calculation, including the use of $16 million as the intent loss amount, but they dispute the appropriate sentence. The government argued that the brothers Walton's leadership role, specifically instructing at least 9 people to prepare or preparing for them phony tax returns. And I told y'all, I know people that be doing this. I know too many people, and I say, man, I thought y'all don't pay taxes. I said, y'all getting ready to get in trouble. You're getting ready to have a paper trail. You don't teach nobody how to break no law. And because this is not military, you can't say brainwash, especially when you're an adult. And everybody know I'm telling you the truth. None of that stuff is right. Everybody that do this old trick to their own people, they go to jail, or they already been in jail, or they know they're going back. They just trying to see how many people they can get caught up. I'm telling you, and they hide behind Moorish science or whatever else they want to call it. You know? But they get people caught up in a tax return. And they say, and the paperwork said it distinguished him from the defendants listed in the chart and warranted a higher sentence within the guidelines range. And the government also emphasized that in some cases, the victims were, listen clearly, the victims were vulnerable because they were elderly, homeless, destitute, or caring for sick relatives. So therefore, this was calculated. This was premeditated. Why? Because you target a certain target market. That's a business strategy. I'm telling you, these people don't be done. When you're able to do something like that, one, it's been done before. And then they'll tell. No disrespect, because, man, I read everything. I have to read cases. This was part of one of my jobs. I said, then not only he tell on himself, you tell on other people, say, well, I just got this from somebody else. Now you implicating somebody else, because now they can hold you for questioning. Well, who else you get it from? Because if you say, judge you in the cases, and the people that you knew that you've been connected to that have done this, that got around the same sentences, do you know people that's continuing to do this? Now I can use your word against you. But the government also emphasized that in some cases, the victims were vulnerable because they were elderly, homeless, destitute, or caring for the sick relatives. You see that? And he asked for the 12-month sentence based in part on his personal circumstances, including his age, history of employment, lack of criminal history, and ready to plead guilty plea. And although he admitted that he helped others do it, he emphasized that he did not invent the scheme. See, when I tell you how people started talking, he said that he did not invent the scheme. He further argued that of all the defendants of the government's chart, which has counsel deemed helpful, very, very, very few people have ever been sentenced within the guidelines. Moreover, the brother Walton said a higher sentence will result in unwarranted sentencing disparities because he learned about the scheme from a defendant in another case. You hear that? You see how they be telling? He didn't say something, a legal process. He said because he learned about the scheme from a defendant in another case who had received a 24-month sentence. So the first thing you thinking is like, man, if anybody with any mind, a typical mind, you say, okay, well, I know somebody that did this before. They got 24 months. I'm finna see what can we do. Some people may be that brash, but they're using that as precedent for a defense to break the law. I'm telling you, this is easy to destroy. The district court imposed a 68-month sentence. The judge emphasized the brother Walton's exploitation of vulnerable followers. And it's not no disrespect, European Albion, no trailer dykes, it's your own people. When I tell people, these people target their own people, some of whom were elderly or homeless, and many of whom believe the religious rhetoric and had not committed crimes before meeting the brother. The judge also confirmed that no one on the government's chart received a leader organizer enhancement as the brother had. The most aggravating fact was that Brother Walton was responsible for law-abiding people who got into this and ended up going to jail, just so he could get a piece of the action. Regarding the need to avoid unwarranted sentencing disparities, the district court explained that the key distinguishing feature was that the other with two possible exceptions. They weren't leaders, whereas many people, some of whom were prosecuted, filed phony returns because of the brother Walton. So what they saying is that they made a more example of him. Why? Because you say you're the leader of this movement. And the leader shouldn't send nobody to a burning house. You shouldn't come up there on no stage to have people lose their lives or file some fake taxes. That's why you more accountable. You're held accountable. That's why I tell brothers you accountable for what? For the stuff that brothers take and get in trouble. You are accountable. Who? You that say this is what you do. You know, to the defendant's vague protest that he didn't necessarily have access to the actual backgrounds concerning all similar cases, including the ones on the government's chart. But the judge responded that there was no dispute that the defendant, Brother Walton, lured at least 9 people into criminal activity. Further considering potential sentencing disparities, the district judge disregarded the chart as useless because the intended losses for all the listed defendants were not comparable. And finally, after announcing the sentence, the judge asked Brother Walton if he wished to address anything else, and the brother said he did not. So I'm not bringing slander up. I'm telling people that this is an old Jedi mind trick. So when people come with this whole scheme again, it's been done. Peace be among this brother's soul, you know. And now when I had my building out here in Arizona, I knew people that was connected to this stuff, and a lot of them got in trouble. That's why I be telling people, I'm like, man, you can lose your whole livelihood dealing with people that don't have a clear understanding because they mad at the world for some clear reason. You know, and he also tried to appeal it, but regardless of the appeals and all that, the whole science of what I'm saying, nobody, no sheik or leader of people should be leading nobody in a burning house, should be saying something good one day, but then at home coming up with a scheme to hustle people, to get them in trouble, breaking the law. Then that voids everything that you're doing. That void everything out that you're doing. It must. It has to be. It has to. Because this is premeditated. No disrespect to no one. I'm just giving y'all free information when people be acting like, oh, everything is so righteous and so. No, it's not. Look at what people's missions be. Look at their attire. Look how they live.
And Sheik, one thing,
Yes.
like you said, I mean, I've been in some of these different temples, you know, throughout Washington D.C. And I mean, like you said, one thing that drew me to the BBT was that you and your empress was a part of the knowledge. You know, a lot of these groups, it's all men, like you said, it's all hard legs. Like ain't nobody trying to be a part of a group of just men. You know, you need to have women, you need to have your children, you need to have your family a part of this. So that was always a red flag for me. A lot of these groups that when I would go to some of these classes and some of these things, I would always see. I mean, if they did have their wives there, they weren't really speaking much or they weren't knowledgeable on the wisdom. So that was always a red flag for me.
Man, we have to be truthful of what's going on, you know, with the science and with people taking things and not understanding it all and then trying to regurgitate things and then act like you don't know what's happening. And at the BBT, we done is there for any more to clean themselves up. And if you are doing these things, you can stop. You know, you can stop. You know, so I just wanted to give y'all that these precedented cases to show y'all that these people got in trouble. That ain't no righteous stuff. Having a group of people file no fake taxes. Where's the honor in any of that? You know, it's no honor. So like I said, I don't want to stay too far in this document because we all have it. We've studied it. I just wanted to give introductions to things to my brothers and sisters. So those that may have questions that's in this science, more science is more than just, how can I say? Well, more science is a plethora of things. More science is understanding who you are, is civics, is knowledge, is order, is rhythm, is astrology, astronomy, nature, is language, is agriculture, is brotherhood, is Sufism when it comes to the spiritualness of what we're talking about. It's coming to the education aspect, the historicalness, bartering with each other, doing business with each other, tuning in, because that's what I'm here to do at the BBT, man. Like I said, I have the state booklet when I say the science is right, but you don't have to follow man. You don't even have to follow me, you know. But I would love for you to be a part of our cipher and join us and come to class and take advantage of our library, which we have an extensive library. Take advantage of all the different ministries that we have on our temple and school webpage, bbtsciencetemple.com. Take advantage of all our companies and just let's build the cipher to see what we can agree on to help brothers and sisters that's just coming into the science or maybe been into the science or maybe want to come back into the science or maybe don't even know too much about science, history, or spirituality and may have a lot of questions. This is the platform that we want to have a safe space at. I know who I am. My brothers and sisters know who they are. We're not trying to convince no one to be something that they're not. But as an American and a Moorish American, I have a right of a nationality. I know who I am. And I can trace myself through history. And I'm not here to argue with no one. That's not my mission. But it's only one science. It's only one truth. And if we're going to deal with more science, and if we're going to deal with history and law and civics, then we should be able to walk out the house holding hand. Only thing is a misunderstanding. Because we all can't have something and we all got something different. We all can have a piece of something and that piece goes together, Noble Moso, as we continue to build it and add on. But we're not destroying. We should be able to build on. And that's what we're here to do at the BBT. When I say we're not a church per se, we a school of divine understanding, you know, and we break down everything as philosophers. We break down everything as thinkers, you know. And so that's all I wanted to say with my brothers and sisters, man, today. But don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in a lot of misunderstanding. If you're confused of anything, you know, my information is on here. I always share my information. You know, my email, you know, y'all can hit me up. My office number, y'all can hit me up. Long as it's a real valid question, you can be my guest on StreamYard. And let's just continue to build this cipher, man. And I'm a real person, man. So I want everybody to let's start reaching out. Let's start questioning things, because I have a lot of more documents that I can put in your hand that you can have for yourself, that you can read it, you know, and be like, well, wait a minute. Well, this already, boy, wait a minute. Yes, you can start asking the right questions and remove your anger. So with that being said, man, I want to say gratitude to everyone for taking time out their day. I love everyone. Like I said, hit me up, ask me any questions. Peace and love, y'all. Any questions?
Islam. Gratitude, Sheikh. Gratitude, Noble. Like you said, just clearing up the misunderstandings. That's what this is here for.
Yeah. It don't always have to be science, but I just know still most so from the emails I'll be getting, it's a lot of people that won't say nothing because they're afraid. I'm like, you can't be afraid to say, you can't be afraid to say names. You can't. Because if that's the case, then we got to make sure nobody else that's coming into the science or thinking about it get caught up in the same web.
Right.
You know? Right. So I just hope people be clear, you know, with things, man. And it's only one science, man. And I hope brothers get to the point to where we ask questions and we don't be afraid to come on here and ask people that may be asking you that most so as you in the science or somebody else in our temple and school that may be having questions. Bring those questions to the cipher, because I know it's a plethora of questions as we grow into the science over the course of the years. And as we be around people, maybe we should start answering those questions, and we invite people to ask questions. Maybe we need to get a phone line or something when we live and on Saturdays. We answer questions or something. Maybe that'd be a good, you know, idea.
Yeah.
So, you know, or some type of super chat or something to where we can get people to start communicating with each other, to do some do's and don'ts, to just get some clear understanding. Because as I close Noble Maso, I don't want a handout. I just want the same playing field, the same opportunity. Right. That's what this is about. We don't need a handout. We are a people, you know. We want to be treated as an equal. We don't want nothing. We don't want no welfare or no WIC or none of that mess. We want an equal playing field. And so with that being said, man, I love all my brothers and sisters. And it's one nationality and many cultures. And we have way more alike than we don't. And you can't have unity without you and I.
That's long. That's long.
I mean, real talk. Well, with that, I say peace. Anybody got anything else? We good?
I just would say one comment. You know, a lot of brothers and people who looking at the movement, they think it's so unique, but there are a lot of other religious groups in our society today that are doing it the right way. And though they might not be of our hue or cultural background, you know, we always talk about like the Mormons. You know, the Mormons are very successful with their endeavors. They're spiritual. They have their finances. They have their businesses. They have their farming. They have their land. They don't participate in wars. And I mean, though they might be totally opposite from the so-called Black experience, you know, they're doing it. They're using religion and civics to live their culture to the fullest.
See, Moso, you taking it to a whole nother level.
I just had to say that because
most people they don't, and see, that's the thing I like about our cipher, because most people don't, how can I say, treat their palate to different things and understanding. And when you able to talk about certain things, you be like, wait a minute, say that again. Say what you just said again, Moso. Watch how we connect it.
Just, you know, the Mormons, they have their religious rights. They don't fight. Mm-hmm.
Now, Mormons. Yeah. Mormons, if anybody ever read the Mormon Bible, is talking about you. Nobody never can read or catch. All you got to do, it breaks it down in there. Talk about the 12 tribes. We call it one of the Indians the 12 tribe. It breaks it down. You should know how to read it. Even Joseph Smith, he had checked out the View of the Hebrews. Right. In the Book of the Mormon, it's plagiarized word for word from the View of the Hebrews in the Book of Mormon, word for word.
Wow.
word for word, from the view of the Hebrews. So this is telling you culture comes. That's why even in another part of history, when they had the whitewashing of history, just like in the book of Maccabees, when it said the Gentiles, the heathen tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. And then when you see a lot of things, even when you see on Paul on the road to Damascus, when the god Artemis, which I showed you in that biblical history book that costs a grip now that I got, that I told Malik to go buy before it got expensive, which he got as well, show him how they whitewashed the god Artemis. You know what I mean? With all her breasts, and that's whitewashed her. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Right. Peter Salmons and the crossing of the Delaware with George Washington. It'll be so much history that needs to be retold correctly. And
so it's taking culture and things out of history when you say that, when you say these things, Mo. So it's like this is what we try to promulgate here at the BBT. You be like, man, there's one nationality, many cultures. We got to the degree that we are people, but we're not stripping on one culture. We know how to adapt. If we went to the Congo right now, me and you would be able to adapt in the Congo, right? If we had to go deal with the Zulu, we'll be okay. If we had to deal with Credo Matua and them, we'll be okay to deal with the spirit builders. If we went to go see Sheikh Bamboo Falls, we'll be okay. And the Sufis, we'll be okay.
You can go through all houses. There's no house that you can't be welcome in.
Yes. Because they'll see the understanding. You be able to smell the understanding. And so that's what we're doing here at the BBT. So it's always good to have these conversations with brothers and not to act like this stuff is so complex, like somebody got some magic wand.
Right.
And I'm gonna sit on some throne and I'm gonna just not share this, and to where all my nobles know that this is simple and it's not complex, because the law and science is not complex. Is it extensive? Absolutely, it's extensive, because you got to be able to know how to look up things. You know what I mean? To be able to get the precedent of law cases, the DOC number, the Free Information Act on a civil aspect. You know, but the history, law, and civics, you must be, how can I say, introduced to a certain level of knowledge to be able to walk freely into those houses of wisdom, to be able to get the information. Everything is not on TikTok or on Google. That's what I tell brothers. I say, yes, it's some things that's current, but nothing is new under the sun. But it's a lot of things that the average person is not going to know. Why? Because they're not connected. And we shouldn't put that on social media. And that's why I digressed a little bit, you know. So, you know, one of my old school elementary teachers, you know, very knowledgeable brother. And he was like, I love what you're doing, but he was like, the level of information you have, he was like, some stuff ain't for the people. And he was talking about a movement, you know, back in the days when the civil rights and the Panthers, he was like, some stuff you can't put out there for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and that's just with anything that you do. Why? Because you want people to be able to be a part of an exclusive group, to have something special that they can hold on to. You want that. That's in everything. That's the whole purpose of coming to class. That's the whole purpose of coming to a dojo. You getting something special. You're not just looking in the window.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You're in the facility, so you're going to always be able to get something special. You're going to always be in the Adapt chamber. And this is what I be telling people. I was like, man, when they say, well, they want to go to the Adapt chamber, or they want somebody to claim their nationality, I'll be like, where are y'all getting this stuff from? And they won't say. And so we're going to just keep on talking about it, no matter what person or what body that's doing it, to show you no matter who's doing it, no matter who's promulgating it, is wrong. And everybody will be going into a burning house, you know? And like I said, I'm here for anyone that come around and want any question asked of what not to do or ask anything. I'm never going to tell you what I think or what I believe, but I'm always going to give you the right answer, you know, to any type of lawful question, any type of historical question that you have. I'm going to always be able to put you in the right direction, no matter what hat that you wear. You know what I'm saying, Noble Moso?
Indeed, yes, sir.
And that's what I be trying to tell people, that's when they deal with certain teachers and certain holy men or certain senseis or certain Sufis, like we was talking about martial arts, and we were saying if you was at your dojo and your sensei only knew how to work with his hands and feet, right? And you meet me, and I know how to work with my hands, my feet, weapons. We're already spiritual. We're a brotherhood. So what we're telling you is not to diss your makeup. What we're telling you to is give homage to your makeup. You know what I mean, Noble Moso, and add value too. But what we do in the lower self as a people, we diss what got us there. Oh man, that was oh no, I need to switch up. I need to do this. You're not switching up. You're adding value too. And this is the love that we give when I say we don't pass the baton per se in our science. We compare. Noble Malik, I call it the pantheon in the so-called biblical days. When you think you're so tough, get in the lions den and fight these lions. You think you got all this strength? You're not an intellectual. So we don't take educators and brothers that got wisdom like yourself, like myself and others, and put us all together, but not put us together and like action figures and have us fighting, but put us together on those podiums to bring all different walks of people together. We don't put ourselves out. We put ourselves like this and fight. And that's the thing that we're going to resurrect here at the BBT that I've been able to do. And I hope it spreads. I say we add value to. Noble Moso, you educated. Most people that I come around with, no matter if you educated or not, you have to understand that this is the level of wisdom that we're able to give here at the BBT, and you're able to fact check, especially if you need something. So we challenge everybody, man. Like I said, once again, we challenge everybody, no matter what walk of life you in, no matter what banner you under. It's one nationality, many cultures. And we welcome you to come to the cipher and love. And anything about this science, man, we like I said, we're not no gatekeepers. We're vanguards. It's a big difference. A gatekeeper, we're not here to stop you at the door from understanding and you taking wisdom in the right way and building yourself and those around you. But we vanguards. So this is always going to be a safe place for people, Moso, you know?
Always.
It's always going to be a safe place. Anybody got anything? Well, we got so much more documents that I'm going to share as we go on with what this Moorish science consists of and what not to do. You know, also the state booklet, how the temple was set up. But nobles, tomorrow, man, we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful conversation because I told y'all about some science. As I close, also remember we talk about in the Bible Sibyls. Well, not in the Bible, but Sophia, the word Sophia and its wisdom. So I want you to get the word Sibyls in your hippocampus and look up that. When I tell brothers and sisters, all in our history, our culture, when I say I don't diss culture, but I give credit to all the law and the prophets. In our culture, in history, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And you're going to see exactly what a lot of so-called churches take away and take out to keep you away from it. For you can have a clear understanding. Because remember, here at the BBT, we're not telling no one what to believe in. We understand science and we respect all the laws and the science, right?
Yes, sir.
We're under the triple rose. But when I talk about culture, when I talk about the people, just like when we talk about Credo Matoa, just like when we talk about Sheikh Bamboo Falls as the Sufi, Credo Matoa was Zulu. They had their own different type of culture, right?
Right.
Moso?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But see, Credo Matoa will tell you that they brought Islam to Africa. And that's the Zulu. See, people don't even know who Credo Matoa is. Credo Matoa is the one that talked about the reptilians.
Right.
The one David Icke, no disrespect, the European made millions off of, and Credo Matoa had to go in exile. No disrespect to nobody what I'm saying, but I'm talking about the science and the culturalness of who we are as a people. We have a rich culture. This is what I'm trying to put into more science and bring all together when I say, man, I don't care what banner you under, when we take it all of culture, this is all our sciences. This is nothing pagan, because the further you go back, you're going to see how powerful the prophetess was. The Mami Wata. I'm telling you, man, it's there in history. And so when we wear this fez, brothers and sisters, when we talk about the Zodiacus, you got to understand what I'm saying when you start seeing signs and symbols. And all this stuff will start telling you that it's Moorish. When a person that try to deny it so much, if you have the information, all you got to do, you say, what, Mozo? Oh.
No, I ain't say nothing.
You will see all in the documents that is telling you, it's talking about more and more and more, all in the document. All in the documents. When they're talking about the Sibyls, it names a Sibyl queen on the Moor coat of arms, wearing a 6-pointed crown of Mami Tanit, Mami-Tanit. All African queens were Sibyls. All African queens were Sibyls, but not all Sibyls were queens or prophetess. Sibyl prophetess on Moorish coat of arms. No military leader would conduct tactical operations without first consulting a Sibyl and making the necessary propositions to Mami and the ancestors, long before the use of European saints. No disrespect. Images of Mami or a Sibyl was worn on the coat of arms or hung outside of businesses for protections as good luck. So when you see all in Europe, when y'all be seeing those coats of arms or the Moorish head, that's another reason why they had those as well. Sibyl Queen Mother in ancient history, Sibyl Queen Mother, the triple crowned as Black Diana. She was worshipped as triple-headed Janus, Janus, in Rome. The double cord scarf representing the twin serpents of Mami. It'd be right in our face. So I just want us to have that little bit of connectingness when we don't strip nobody of their culture. We don't strip nobody of nothing, because when you go back to it of understanding, they won't deny your Moorish heritage. They won't deny it. But we're not stripping nobody of their culture. Noble Moso. We're not stripping nobody of their culture.
Nope.
You know, we can't. You know, somebody asked me, do I practice Zoroastrianism? I say yes. The prophet practiced Zoroastrianism, and people don't even know what Zoroastrianism is. I say it's older than a lot of stuff that you think when you start looking at things and researching things. But we be so argumentative. Instead of building, we be destroying, and there's nothing to destroy with false pretenses. But I want us to see this, man, brothers and sisters, and research the first prophetess of Mami Wata. Research the Sibyls. Research what the Catholic Church has hidden, and we can start having a clear conversation of what's in our face as we start bringing everybody to oneness. Because that's what this is at the BBT, at the school, Noble Moso. This is a school of brothers and sisters to sit down here and have a conversation, to agree as one, to build our panels up, to build things up, not to disagree, because there's nothing to disagree with. You know? So I love y'all, man. I give gratitude, and we out, Moso.
Islam. Peace and love, nobles.
Anybody got anything? We good?
Islam.
Nobody got nothing? I hope not. I hope everybody was clear. If anybody got any questions about the consulate course documents or anything that I had, the letter to the CCRD, the Holy Nation State booklet, all you got to do is inbox me. You can get it so you can see how not to get in trouble. I love all my brothers and sisters, but it's no magic wand that no more have. It's no secret code that's going to get no more out of jail. I promise you that. And we can have that discussion all over again if you want specifics. But I just gave it to you on a silver platter. So with that being said, man, I love y'all and peace. We out, Moso.
Peace and love, noble.
Peace.
You're what you own, what you need. You're what you own, what you need, what you own. You're what you own. You're what you need, what you own. You're what you own. You know that knowledge. You know that Gnostic. You know that Gnosis. No mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.